States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We got it down though. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order.
Members present is Darrell Baker, clerk, Charles Vance, president, Charles McCann, commissioner, and Terry Matthews, junior commissioner. First thing on the agenda, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular session of the Lincoln County Commission meeting that was held on January the 17th, 2013 at 6 p.m.
I move.
Second.
Is that an all yes vote?
Yes.
Is Sue Burton here? Can't believe she's not here, but she's wanting money. Maybe she'll come in a little bit. Ron Gregory with the Allen Creek Sewer Project.
And we have others with us here. Mike, Mercy just came in, so she may be with us or against us, but she's here. Mike, Jesse from S&S Engineering, Steve from the city of South Charleston. He is the director of or general manager of the sanitary board, Steve DeBar. He is an engineer as well as being the manager of that. And we have Jonathan Carpenter, who is one of our engineers from Thrasher over here. And he actually has no direct bearing on this project, but he just wanted to be here to see what exactly is going on, I think. The purpose of us coming, from at least my vantage point, is to report to you that the Lincoln Public Service District, together with the South Charleston Sanitary Board and the City of South Charleston, believe that, and I think the governor's office and several other places, believe that sewer for Allen Creek is a #1 priority as far as economic development, making the community grow, enhancing the opportunities for businesses to come to both Lincoln and Kanawha County, as well as Allen Creek. And we have found that the study that Jesse and S&S did, they looked at some possibilities. One that you probably heard about 5 years, 10 years ago, whenever, was to construct 2 sewage plants on the Coal River. We've always thought that was, the current board has always thought that would be a mistake if we had some other place to treat it. So they looked at South Charleston, Charleston, and St. Albans, and whether or not those 3 cities could take the sewage at some point and treat it. The ideal thing about, there's a lot of ideal things about South Charleston, in my view, besides the fact they have a Republican mayor, and that is that, I had to throw that in. The capacity is there. There's an issue for many, many municipalities and public service districts in the state that do sewage about, for lack of a better term, in layman's terms, the engineers will call it something else, but storm drains discharging into the sewer system, and you have a big rain and every downspout in the town or wherever is hooked to the sewer or gets eventually to the sewer somehow and overflows capacity. Again, Steve could talk much more about this than I can, but South Charleston, like, again, many cities in the state, and we do have Senator Stallings came in, or Dr. Stallings, or whatever he wants to be called today. Now, he and Dr. Vance can either be given credit or blame for me recovering my physical condition. It depends on how you look at it, but it's him and Dr. Vance who did it. So if there's blame, you can find them after the meeting. The downspout situation in South Charleston is not any worse than it is a lot of places, but they are under an order, just like most municipalities, and I think Commissioner McCann knows this. Most municipalities in the state are under a sort of cease and desist, and it's probably called something besides that, of discharging that kind of thing into their system. So he's got a multi-million-dollar or $1 million plan to solve their problem. Now, taking sewage from Allen Creek would not add to that problem because we're not gonna put downspouts into a sewer system. You know not to do that today. So we believe that the State Department of Environmental Protection, DEP, we've met with them, and we believe they would give their approval to go ahead and hook to South Charleston. Right now, technically, South Charleston can't take new customers without getting some of that drainage out of their stream. But they've allowed them to take, was it Loudon Heights or somewhere there that you took some customers in, I think? Was it Loudondale or no?
No, we're just considering, we haven't taken.
Oh, you haven't taken them in yet, but they're talking about that. And in the meeting with DEP, I think they were very positive about that. The governor has sent a letter to the mayor of South Charleston, Frank Mullins, and told him that this project would be one of his top 10 projects in the entire state. We believe that what has to happen is we get a blessing from the DEP for the project to go forward with South Charleston. And what I started to say about the ideal parts of that is that there's already a discharge line that comes essentially from the Ridges, the new housing development over there, that comes to the bridge at Allen Creek. According to our engineer, and I think Steve's as well, which is Bell Engineering, that could be reversed and the Allen Creek sewage could hook in right there once they hook the Ridges up and shot back to South Charleston, and that would save a tremendous amount of money on running new lines. What we wanted to do, our main purpose was, again, to let you know how serious we are about thinking this is a big-time project that needs to be done. We don't want anybody to lose sight of the fact, and sometimes it happens, that this is a top priority to us. It's not the top priority, the Woodville Alcohol Water Project is. But this is a big priority, and again, I don't think anybody in economic development would argue with us that it will create jobs, it will create money. I've had people from Oshel-Crago to pizza company out of Southwest Virginia who have told me that if they had sewer in Allen Creek, they'd have a business there tomorrow morning. And so I think businesses, housing development, people coming in, all of that is very important to Allen Creek and Lincoln County. And basically, we really just want to keep you informed. Now, the only other thing, and I'll have to watch how I present this because I don't want it to sound like I'm actually asking you for money because I'm really not. And Charles got his ears perked up on that. The state and feds, from Tracy Rowan to Governor Tomlin to our delegation, and Senator Stallings has taken more interest in this than any of the rest of the delegation. I'm not trying to criticize them, but he's been very involved in this. Have told us that money for sewers and money for water come out of two different pockets. And so if there's a grant or a loan to be had for sewer, that doesn't come out of water. The only issue, I guess, that we have that we would pose to you at some point is the engineer who did preliminary engineer is owed about $54,000 for what they've done. And that's got us to the point we could actually move forward with the project. If they had $10,000 from us through the Lincoln County Commission, they've told us that they could go ahead and produce their report, go ahead and do all their work, and be ready for the project to go the steps further it needs to. My question is this, when you eventually, and I'm not asking you to answer it tonight, but if you gave $10,000 or $5,000 or whatever to us for the sewer project, would you take that from a future water project? Would that handicap us? Because we don't want to handicap any water projects in order to do the sewer project. So that's basically my presentation. And I don't know, Jesse, do you want to say something? Or?
You covered about all of it.
There's not much more to say, is there? When I get finished. Mike, you want to? Steve?
No, sir, but I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Okay.
if I have.
So you have questions for either one of us?
Well,
Yeah.
when we're talking about, I'm suspecting this thing's like $10-15 million to do or something, or have you got some idea?
It's probably maybe $8 million for us and 12 for them, for South Charleston. And of course, we do have the problem of until DEP approves this, Jesse can't compute what the average person's gonna have to pay in the sewer bill. And obviously, if they come back to us and say, well, it's gonna be $200 a month, then we're not for that project, but hopefully it'll be reasonable.
With the alternates that we have right now, if we would pick everything up from Holiday Inn Express to Allen Creek, even down to McCorkle, it's 12.9 million for Lincoln PSD and 8 million for City of South Charleston.
Okay, I had a reverse.
Yeah.
Steve said he'd pay 12 million. He told me that. Gladly pay 12 million.
If we only pick up the customers in Allen Creek, Priestley, and McCorkle and just pump it all the way to South Charleston, the cost would be 13.9 for Lincoln PSD and 2.6 for City of South Charleston. And that's not counting any upgrades that the sanitary board may have to do to their system.
The one figure is about 500 customers and the other is about 1,000, right?
Yes, there would be 500 customers for Lincoln PSD and 500 customers for City of South Charleston for a total of 1,000 customers.
Under the $20 million plan.
Yes.
Any other questions?
No, I think we need to move forward with this as soon as we can.
And KK, we have worked with Commissioner Matthews. He's been deeply involved the whole time too. And that's not to say the two of you haven't, but because he's partly because he's from that area, he's been real keen on staying up with what we're doing. And what I will try to make sure we do is provide you with a monthly written report of where we stand and what's going on. We don't want you to think though that we're dropping the ball. Every time we turn around, we hear, well, they quit worrying about that. Well, I mean, we can't ballyhoo it every day, but we definitely want it.
I appreciate you coming and giving a report. I've talked to you several times, and you kind of keep me posted with what's going on. And, you know, you being a part of the board, it's important that we have communication.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that you came and were able to bring some friends with you. And this is something that I think we have to do. We have to do it for Lincoln County. not just
Well,
for
it's South
us.
Charleston council meeting tonight, and the mayor sent him over here instead of the city council, so that tells you how important South Charleston thinks it is. Or he came on his own, but he got here somehow.
But we do believe it's important, and we believe the corridor is right for economic development, and provide jobs, and provide businesses. We think it's good for South Charleston, Kanawha County, and Lincoln County. And exactly, we're hoping all the governments can work together and be an example of what can happen when everybody works toward a common goal.
Well, we have after McCoy opening up in that area, very close to that area and things of that nature, and we know they need housing and things of that nature when they come and participate on the trail system. The businesses associated with the Hatfield-McCoy trails can develop quicker if they've got the infrastructure that they can look at there and things like that. So, as always, though, I think the devil's in the details. We have to really see, I think we need to go as far as we can to see where we can get to and where we can't get to.
Yeah.
It's positive.
And this is the speech I was gonna give, but I cut it short.
You know how many books transfer all the way up there?
We haven't gotten that far in it right now, we're just in the preliminary stage.
Seems like you need a long way to go with sewage.
I'd say at least 6, and that's just preliminary what we have right now.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.